Welcome to Mindflow Radio.
We are creating conscious community by sharing mindful manifesting skills and transcendental music.
We are all in this together.
Thank you.
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 Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank 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 you. All right. Here, Mindflow Radio.
Mindflow Radio.
Here we are. She's Jalen.
And he's Monty. And we have Shereen with us.
Special guest.
Yes. It's her
Thanks for
first
having
time
me.
on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. So she has a special project that she just completed.
Yep.
Her first book.
I just released maybe about
Yeah.
a month ago now my book, which is called Sweet. Sweet. And it's highs, lows, and mystic glows. And it's actually
Yeah.
an autobiography written in verse. So it's all written in rhyming poetry.
Yeah.
And it's more or less an autobiography about the first 4 decades of my life. My 20-year-old self, I made a promise to her that for my 40th birthday, which happened a month ago now on March 4th, that
Happy birthday.
I would have a book written about my life. So really the idea, I was 20 years old at the time and I was reflecting on my life so far. And I couldn't believe how much had happened in that time. And yet I felt still really young and with so much life ahead of me. And I decided at that time that I would write a book for when I turned 40.
Yeah.
So I stood between the history of the past 20 years and the mystery of the next 20 years. And that was sort of the bouncing point and when the conception or the idea of the book came to mind. But it also sparked me off to leave Scotland and Ireland and head off around the world, in search of life and love and meaning and purpose. So I was on my mission, but I was also had in mind that I was filling the pages. I was writing the pages.
That is so cool.
Wow.
But then I also knew that tons of it was out of my control and that I had no idea what was coming. I had no idea the dragons that were going to have to be slayed along the way. And there was a lot of that going on. So, it's been quite a process writing the book, to be honest. I decided that I was going to write it in rhyme and poetry just about 2 years ago. And it's like, oh gosh, it's due in like 2 years. I need to get this done. And at times I was like, why did you choose rhyme and poetry? It's like limits your ability to express yourself.
Absolutely.
But I noticed that by giving it form, it helped me keep it short, simple, direct, and straight to the point.
Yeah,
So I noticed and learned through the process that giving things a limit is actually a great thing. If you can put your own limitation around it, then you've got a framework to work with. And before, I thought it was more about being much more open and absolutely no limits. Whereas I feel that sometimes when you bring it in, it gives you something to work within. You know,
a container.
yes, I don't know if you feel the same when you're creating a project of yours. You know, I feel like specific materials help rather than I can use everything.
Oh, sure.
You know, then it just gets messy and there's
Give
no
it the
end
bones.
to it. Exactly. And that's what it was like. But yeah, it was really very much a healing journey.
Yeah.
And it's like my 20-year-old self knew that by writing this, I would be able to harvest the jewels of my journey and drop all the heavy boulders so that I could, life begins at 40, you know, like start afresh, but bring the wisdom and the lessons and blessings that I learned into the future, but not carrying all the stuff.
So it's
that
like
was
a way
painful.
of dropping it
Release
and giving it a structure and a backpack to be left under the tree.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And yeah, I'm half Scottish, half Iranian. So my experience of growing up in Scotland and Ireland is biracial, you know, like it was a challenge at times, and also a lot of the time people didn't even notice or know because unless I tell someone, I've just got this Scottish accent going on, you know. And,
I never knew that. You probably told me and I didn't even know.
Yes. So like that's what I mean, unless I mention it. And then once I do, people can start seeing that sort of Persian look. You know, I actually have my dad's eyes, and my grandmother's eyes. So I have got the Persian thing going on.
Right.
But yes, so the experience of that sort of, I think me traveling around the world was from my dad, who died when I was 10 years old. And that sort of was the moment that sparked my search for truth, search for answers. You know, him dying was like, where did he go? What? Why am I here? How do I soothe this pain? You know, and as a 10-year-old, I didn't really know how to process the grief of that situation. But I feel like he had come to Scotland from Tehran to study in Glasgow. So I feel like he had that travel spirit, and I feel like that's where I got mine, and why my journey then took me to Spain and France and Algeria, Morocco, Peru, many places that I mention in my book. Yeah. To where I am now, which is here in the US, in Wisconsin.
Welcome to the
in Viroqua. Yes. We're meeting you beautiful people.
Yeah, so we've had some good times.
That's really awesome.
Well, I want to say just great job, you know, coming up with an idea when you're 20 and then following through on that. That shows some just real
follow through.
Something in your mind. Just love the idea, so you didn't forget about it.
No,
it was a bell that rang. Man. It's time, and it's sort of like you knew your destiny. Sort of.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know, and I have to admit, I mean, I read the book, and it is just. First of all, I've never read a poetry book that's an autobiography. So that it's just highly unique. And just the form of it, I mean, and the great job you did with it. It was just like captivating.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just read through it straight.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, and I'm a book snob.
Right?
Wow,
that's interesting.
I don't resonate with most things, really. But
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, the next 20 years.
Yeah, the next 20 years.
That'd be like,
could you do 5 years maybe?
Who knows?
Every 5 years.
Yes. Well, you say that how I managed to keep it going. Every now and again, I go back to my town in Ireland or my city in Scotland, and there was always this one lady where I used to work. I worked as a dishwasher after school, every day after school, and this was my job when I was in high school, and. Every time I went back, I'd always go and visit them and eat in this place. And she'd always say, "Hey, Shereen, have you wrote that book yet?" And the whole time I've heard her voice in my head, and it wasn't until recently or until I announced the book was coming, that I had a bunch more people say, "I remember you said you were going to write that book." And I was like, no way, because 20-year-old Shereen must have been running around telling everyone, "I'm going to write a book." I'm going, So many people did know about it, but I didn't remember. I didn't know that they'd remember.
Yeah.
So it was...
it just seems like it was meant to be.
Yes.
And that's why it had this special, magical energy to it, perhaps.
Yes. You mentioned that, and it's really funny because I happened to be married to a book designer, and my next door neighbour was an editor. And it's like, wow, how did I end up, just when I'm about to turn 40, that my husband is now trained in being, he designs books for his mum's business, and he didn't know how to do that when I first got together with him. Just over the years, he's been learning just in time for when my book's due.
Wow, all right.
And then my neighbour happens to be an editor. When I started feeling into that, it was like divinely timed so that it could happen. I was kind of shocked about that experience of it too. But yeah, really, I express it's very raw and real, and I'm very open about my experiences with depression and mental health, and my experience with infertility, which has been the biggest lesson, blessing, trauma, tragedy, transformation that I have gone through to date. And writing about it is allowing me to now speak about it. Before I was able to write it in words, I could not speak about it. No one knew about it even. So only just this month am I able to actually vocalise it. So it's kind of the biggest relief when I say I drop the boulders. It's like I get to live in the transformation of the journey now, instead of... still sort of I was dwelling in the pain and the grief of the story for a long time, and I just really struggled to meet the world and lift my self-esteem and be okay, even, never mind thrive.
Right.
I wasn't doing that, and it was like I just sort of kept following the guidance that I was getting from my heart, from my soul.
Nice.
And being led on how to move through, because there's no way to go but go through the experience, and to go from this place of being having to accept this experience of childlessness. I couldn't do it at first. It was like, I'd rather not be here. I don't want a future if that's the case. And then it was like, slowly it became this, I got to touch this, wow, you can be child-free, right? And I started enjoying my experience of what I can do because I'm child-free, but it just wasn't enough for me. And many women, it can be. And I was like, no, I just keep swaying between child-free and childless. And it wasn't until I went to an orphanage in Thailand, and the childless mother and the motherless child set eyes on each other, and there was hundreds of them. There was 67 of them. And it was just like, wow, it was like, now I'm child full and I'm welcome here anytime. And I'm now able to, the biggest satisfaction or accomplishment I feel that I've ever experienced in my life to date is that I can be around kids again. I'd lost that ability. And now I love it. It was like pregnant women would be terrifying. Babies would be terrifying. And now it just brings me so much joy. It's because it's like, it's so beautiful. I'm like, because I know that both are hard and both are beautiful.
Yeah.
Having kids is hard and having kids is awesome. Not having kids is hard and not having kids is awesome.
Yeah.
Both are true, and it's like, it just depends how I'm looking at it. And I've realised that it's all about my perception. And that's what's going to matter for me. If I look at it as if I'm child-free or child-full, that makes me happier and it's true. Or I could look at it that I'm childless and be sad, which is also true. But I get to choose which one I get to be in most of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah.
What would you say is your most, your mindful tip for moving through the experience of being infertile, and
yes,
how would you pass that on to others?
Yes, well, mainly my main one that sticks with me today that I do is anytime I notice that I am not bringing ease to whatever it is that I'm doing, if I am bringing a sense of panic or a sense of hurry or rush, this is when I know. This is my alert, my bell that says, yo, you're not present. You're worried about the future. You're worried about something going on.
Yeah.
Stop. So my biggest tip is to notice when you're bringing panic to the moment, when you're not bringing calm, when you're not fully focused and fully there, pretty much. And stop and take some huge deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you can, lie on the ground. My favourite thing to do is lie on the ground, like in Shavasana with my knees bent, and just breathe for a minute. And then when I'm ready, I come back to the moment. But also nature. Nature helped heal my heart, to be honest, hanging out with the trees, hanging out with the blue sky, and just that whole experience of being much more held by nature. I managed to connect with that through my menstrual cycle as well. From intensely tracking my menstrual cycle, I noticed how I can get in tune with my moon when I know which day of my cycle that I'm on and how I can show up, which leads to where my book has allowed me, or the book, my journey with infertility. So I see it now as my journey from infertility to flowerhood. My heart has blossomed, and it was because of extreme pain. It was like the seed of my soul got completely cracked open, like completely, and it was just in darkness, and it had nowhere to go until I started watering it with love, pouring my motherly energy all over my inner child. And I started to grow, and that was the beginning of the healing for me. So because of that journey of infertility to flowerhood, I have created the Flowerhood Project. So my website is ShereenBaird.com or theflowerhoodproject.com. And there is the place where I share all my tools and techniques and all the things that have helped me get to where I am now.
So theflowerhoodproject.com.
Yes.
And
that's cool.
Can you get the book at that
You can
website
get
as
the
well?
you can get the book at the website. So what I'm doing there, actually, I'm creating what I'm calling bundles of joy. And my bundles of joy are how I deliver what I've learned, right? So the bundles of joy, they come with so one bundle of joy that I have already is the Wee Wellness bundle, right? And in there, it's all my tools and techniques that I use to deal with stress and anxiety and depression, and just to lift my mood and get me more clarity, And bundle of joy that's coming through me right now is the menstrual moon bundle. So because I've been very intently tracking my cycle for the past 10 years on a daily basis, what my mood's doing, what my skin's doing, what my emotions are like, and how it's connecting with when I need to rest, when I should be more busy and productive, and getting in tune with my body's rhythms. So I'm making a menstrual moon bundle at the moment, and another one that's in my mind is the grief relief bundle.
We need that.
So like they're all tied into, and like it's like grief doesn't heal by time. It really, really doesn't. You cannot let time pass and expect to get over your loss. It doesn't work like that. You need to take certain actions to move through it. Time does not heal that. You know, it takes you meeting with the chief grief master. Like, grief is nature's chief, and you go shake hands with them and ask, what are you teaching me? Until you actually go and meet that part and do what you're guided to do to release what you need to do. And so the Flowerhood Project is I want to be surrounded by flowers. So I want people to know that if they're in pain right now, it's not a bad thing. It's the seed of their soul being cracked open so that they can then rise up through the soil and find their place, find their space. So that's
so cool.
Sort of where I am with things right now.
Following the flow of your heart.
Yes.
And how to share with the world.
And like just what wants to be birthed through me, what wants to come through me, you know. And also how can I enjoy being child-free? What can I now do to help future generations, you know, by going to the orphanage and being an inspiration somehow, you know, because I was there teaching English in Thailand, but I was also being an inspiration, a role model, you know, and a presence that was inspiring or whatever, you know. So, and like, we all have a child within us. So it's like, how can whoever feels like connected to that, and it's like, I feel like we all have a child within us. So it's like, I can mother the child in me, the child in you, the child in a child. You know, there's so many different ways, and I did not see them. I did not see them. I was in the darkness, in the seed zone, you know, until I stopped banging on the door that was closed. And then all of a sudden I see all these other doors. And it's like, wow, stop forcing my happiness through that direction. You know, it's like, you know, as soon as you open up, I just want happiness. Stop forcing it through a certain space, and then, you know, then all of a sudden life is like, hey, come through me, come through this way. We need you, this needs you, come here.
So you took control of your attention.
Exactly.
When it wasn't working.
Exactly.
You were in a dead end.
Exactly.
And you just opened up and
all of a sudden I meet this lady in the car park, and she's asking me, I asked her, excuse me, I was going for my first day at a job. I hadn't met my boss yet, and I'm in the car park, and there's 3 doors to this building, and I asked this lady in the car park, excuse me, do you know how I can find this lady I'm looking for? And she's like, where are you from? You're from Scotland. She's like, I'm doing a Celtic show. You're going to be the star of the show. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
I remember that.
I'm just looking to find this new employer. It's my first day on the job. I need to go. Like, I've got to get there, you know. And she's like, no, you know, you have to come. And then I met up with her, and then she told me what the Celtic festival or the show was about, was to raise money for the Rotary Club, but they were then going to give money to this orphanage in Thailand. So then she spoke more about that, and then so it was like, wow, the Scottish connection, the Celtic connection helped me find. And then she tells me, I can set you up to go teach English in Thailand, and not only that, we will give you some money from the Rotary experience, and it was just like so easy.
That's so cool.
you know? And then it was like,
ease,
wow,
right?
the ease. The ease when I stopped pushing and forcing and trying to control the situation. It became more beautiful and, things became available. But yeah, I definitely feel really honoured to be able to speak about it, because I know so many women are struggling with infertility, and it's such a hard topic to talk about. It's pretty impossible to talk about without needing to cry. You know, so I'm so surprised I'm in this space. I really am. You know, it was like I couldn't speak about it. I broke through.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, and there's many other breakthroughs ahead of me. I'm still. It's like you don't just bloom; you keep on blooming, or you break down and then you bloom again. You know, and that's okay. And I'm ready for that, and that's exciting. Right now, I'm having a breakthrough. I don't really love this being on camera, and for me, this is me breaking through again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
good job.
How can I just keep moving forward? It's like expand the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm now comfortable when kids are there. I'm now comfortable if there's a pregnant woman. Actually, I'm really excited about it. And, you know, and it's like, okay, can I now get comfortable being on camera? You know, it's like once you break through, it's kind of like that comfort zone just got bigger, and you're now
You just get more
basking in
curious.
that. And it's like, what's beyond the next scary thing?
Yeah.
That I think I can't do,
Right.
that's not possible. And then it's like, wow, it is possible, you know? Yes, you know? So yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to, one, talk about it, because I speak about it in the book, and I'm just trying to now speak about it in words to people, and also get comfortable talking on camera. And yeah, it's
That's so good.
It's like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a poem in my book that describes mindfulness very well. I just found it to reflect on it accidentally. I was like, wow, this one could possibly be cool.
Yeah.
Would you mind?
Yeah.
Should I?
Please
go for
do.
it.
Can I just take a little drink of my water there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, wow, because this is a mindfulness podcast, and my bundles of joy, a lot of the things in there are mindful practices to sort of cultivate mindfulness so that we can navigate life better with more ease, because the storms are coming whether we like it or not. Even if you're a flower, the storms and the rain and the snow and stuff's still going to come, you know.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
So it's sort of that experience. But this particular poem,
you might want to. Are we
No,
good with
It
sound?
sounds good.
Okay.
do you need me closer
Oh,
or?
no, it's good.
Very good.
Yeah?
Okay, good.
Okay, shall I see?
Yeah.
Okay, the poem is called Chill Behind the Noise. Chill Behind the Noise. Relax, watch and listen as thoughts and events unfold. In that space that's before words, where there's nothing to uphold. The noise of thoughts, of sensory input, of feelings good or bad arise. Just notice, relax, allow and enjoy, and look from eternal eyes. This space is not biased to a polarized point of view, because it can see and it knows both and neither are true. From this empty yet charged with love aliveness, gazing into time, see from who you truly are, you're both being and becoming sublime. The space is vast and it settles in and around the body and mind. As past trapped energies arise, they can now be free to gently unwind. The sounds and images of your stories, both tragic and epic, are released to allow peace and joy to take centre stage so you can truly enjoy life's feast.
Great.
That is so beautiful.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, she covered a lot of ground there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, for me, it sort of explains that space of mindfulness where you're just watching, noticing the thoughts, noticing the feelings.
Yeah.
And the gift that it gives you. You get to see the world through eternal eyes.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that's the gift of mindfulness for me. It's like, it's not just that it reduces stress and anxiety. That's a big one, but you also touch that part of you that's more than just your body.
Yeah, your higher self.
You know, it's like we're not just this.
Yeah.
You know, and cultivating mindfulness definitely helps us have that personal experience so that it's not a blind faith thing. It's actually, you touch it yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You embody it.
You embody it.
Soulful perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So
I want you to read that whole book to me.
It's a great book.
Oh, thank you.
I just want to say that again.
Yeah.
It really is a great book.
Thank you.
Super artistic, just beautiful.
Nice.
Really, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Half of the book is like the journey through time. So half of the poems are in time and half of them are timeless.
Okay.
You know, so like they have come as guidance.
Oh, cool.
In time, but they speak to
Everyone.
any time, every time, you know. And that was one of them. So that's one of the ones. So the first half of the book is pretty much my journey, the 40 years, my 40 trips around the sun, sort of. And then the end is like the lessons and blessings and the guidance that came to help me, you know, and just what I've learned. And yeah, just an opportunity to be able to share.
All right.
To share that. Like, many books have saved my life on many occasions, you know. So it's like share what you know. Share what you know. It's important, you know.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
It's like, you know, and that's the power of art right there. Art really is the answer.
Yes.
I mean, love is the answer. You're talking about that.
Yes.
Right? But art is a way to express that.
Exactly. Yep. Yes, I see that for sure. For sure. Yeah, I'm still kind of shocked I managed to pull it off, to be honest. At many moments I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this. I tried to write parts of it in my early 20s. So maybe when I was 24, 25. Disastrous. I'd never even read a book until I was 23. And my 20-year-old self was going to write a book.
Wow.
And she'd never even read a book. Like, my school would give me books, but I did not want to read them. That was a nightmare for me, the thought of reading and writing.
Wow.
But then I moved to Spain and I was trying to learn Spanish. And mainly I learned Spanish on the streets, talking to people. But I did then want to be able to read it. So I started reading books. I read my first book and it was an autobiography and it was in Spanish and I was hooked. And that was it. I've been reading books ever since then and loving it. And yeah, just that experience of, wow, I haven't read a book, but books have had such an impact on my life. And I really, really appreciate them. So it's like, I need to write my words on a page, you know? And yeah, part of the reason why I didn't like reading, and I didn't find out until I was 30 years old, was I then got diagnosed with dyslexia when I was 30. And I was like, that's just a super cool word to describe my superpowers. You know, that's kind of the way I'm going to say it. But I had gone back to college, college. I was doing a biological science course, and they did these tests for dyslexia, and I passed the test for having, you know, and I was actually quite happy about it because I got a free laptop, I got extra time in my exams, and I got coloured paper. So it was great. I was like, well, I don't mind this label, but really I think it's just a superpower, you know. And obviously then it made me realise why I struggled to read and write growing up.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've managed to now be able to do that, you know. I can do it pretty well. Sometimes I'm probably much slower reader than some people might be. But I train myself to. I can do it, you know, and I wrote this. And probably writing it in rhyme and poetry was easier for my brain. Maybe if I did do it the other way, it wouldn't have been so easy. Who knows?
Yeah,
but I
you
know
the structure.
Exactly. I know my 24-year-old or whoever tried to write some pages so far, she sucked at writing it. Could not do it. I mean, would just get depressed.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to look at the past without getting sucked in, without being able to be mindful and be the witness. Because I've been meditating for the past 15 years every day, doing yoga every day since I was 20. And that, I've replaced any antidepressant drugs and anything like that with holistic techniques like that,
Nice
and
job.
just like, the 20-year-old self getting lost.
I can see how that would be really,
Yeah, it was-
like you get to witness all of your practice from then until now, where you actually have a product that you can like look at and be like, whoa, I just did that.
Yeah,
That's how well I've become.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of, it's allowed me to just open, and know that you just, when pain comes, it's just the beautiful crack again. Like when my dad died, that was a seed that cracked open, and it bloomed when I found my family in Iran. It was like that transformed my trauma into triumph, into transformation of being able to embrace my Iranian side again, which I had abandoned, really, and it was like, wow, I get to take each part of myself back, and as time goes by, I get more and more of myself coming back to myself, and obviously I'm not finished yet. There's lots of storms probably coming and lots of sunshine, I'm sure. So it's like, you get the tools and techniques, and that's why I feel like life begins at 40, because in a way, you've gathered your tools.
Yeah.
That's what he says too.
Yeah. You've gathered your tools and you've got your little, what works for me in your suitcase, and you can be like, okay, now I know storms are coming, but I've got a rain jacket and I've got my umbrella.
You're empowered.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do believe like the power years begin at 40. Because that's when people make real differences. From 40, as long as you can stay vital.
Yes.
Those are your power years.
I think so. I'm
you're
feeling
really
into
kicking
that.
it off with this book.
Yeah,
Just
I
saying,
think
you're putting it in the gear.
Shazam.
Yeah, nice. My 20-year-old self, I think she possibly had some sort of thought, maybe because she was like, the book was going to be called They Say Life Begins at 40.
Okay.
And then a swear word, which I won't say. But I decided that would be a bad idea because I'd need to say it on things like this. So I left the swear word off the page.
Yeah. And the word in the sweet, the title sweet, that comes from your name.
Yes, my name means sweet in Persian. So Shereen and Shireenis are like sweeties, like candies.
Oh my goodness.
Shireen is sweet and it's Shireenis. So yes, that's why I named the book Sweet, because it's a book about Shireen's life, Shireen's journey. So it was like, why not? And highs, lows, and mystic glows.
Oh, okay.
It's like life is that I learned to hold both the
Everything.
everything. Yes, and that's the beauty of where I am now. It's like I get to hold the triumph and the tragedy and the transformation, and I'm more space for what life's coming with, and I've got my tools, and I'm sure my tools will need upgraded.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be polished.
Exactly. And also, like you say, there's never ending to the breakthrough. There's always a new level of breakthrough, and like, breaking through. It's like, wow, I broke through this and that and this, and I know there's many more to come. And it's like, brave, getting the Scottish brave heart going.
Nice.
And sometimes I really feel like I need my Scottish bravery when I'm trying to make a breakthrough or trying to overcome something that I've been struggling with. So I take that from the hard rash. Scotland is a pretty rough place. It's rough. Even the weather's rough. Everything's harsh.
Right.
And it's really, really beautiful too. You should definitely go to Scotland for sure.
Yeah.
But just I learned a lot of how to be streetwise and take care of myself if need be, sort of from that experience. But it's been quite a journey, and the book's a massive release for me. And the Flowerhood Project is something that is coming into the future.
Yeah, sounds really great.
I get to give birth to bundles of joy my way, and I get to move into motherhood my way, and just express what wants to move through me, and
give your gifts to the world.
Just try and
It's the
show
most
up.
satisfying, right?
Yes, it is. And I couldn't do it before. I wasn't in the heart space and the mind space. I was drowning pretty much, and yeah, we always, life's like this, and that's okay. The storms are coming. And we got each other, eh?
Yeah, we do.
That's the beautiful thing too. It's like we need each other. We pull each other up. We push each other along. So you can get on the camera, Shereen. Come on, come and join the podcast. It's like, okay, I'm on the camera. And yeah,
You did it.
Yeah.
yes.
So I think maybe you should do a little review. Hold your book up for Jeremy.
Alright.
Yeah.
The website and just ways to get a hold of you. Theflowerhoodproject.com.
Yeah, or Shereen Baird, my name, which is Shereen. Baird, Baird. So that's Shereen Baird, Shereen Baird.com. And yeah, my book is available on that website. There's an ebook version also, if you prefer the ebook version. And yeah, my one and only bundle of joy that's on there at the minute is the Wee Wellness bundle. And yeah, some of my art, my paintings are on there too. So feel free to check them out. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your gifts with us today.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
And the work you've done.
I'm excited about the audiobook, seriously.
Yeah, I've had a few people ask about the audiobook. That was one of my breakthroughs that I was not managing to break through yet. This reading out loud, like that was me having a breakthrough too.
Really? That's
because
so good.
reading out loud was really a scary thing for wee Shereen.
Okay.
She did not like doing that at all. That was something that I was not good at, and there would be trauma around.
Yeah.
And now this is me. I'm breaking through. I'm on the camera.
That was great.
I'm reading my poem out loud. So
Beautifully.
yeah, people are asking me to read, to make an audio version. So you never know. One day I might break through and have the courage and the time and the inspiration to actually do that.
Yeah.
But yes, because you want to hear it. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Fair enough.
Well, are we good? We good?
High five.
High five. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you, everybody. It was our pleasure to get to talk with Shereen about her latest artistic offering, Sweets, because she's so sweet, and we really enjoy her. So thank you, everybody out there. I hope you're having a great Mindful Monday. We're going to attempt to do Mindful Monday more often. We'll see how it goes. There may be times where we don't make it, but we're going to do our best. And do you have anything you'd like to say?
Well, we're all in this together, and
We are.
it seems like what Shereen's offering is could be just super helpful to a lot of folks.
Absolutely.
So
Helping each other,
it's about
walking each
that's
other
what it's
home.
about, is helping. Yeah, walking each other home.
That's
right?
what I like to say.
Yes, I like that. I like that.
Life is but a dream.
Life is but
Yes.
a dream.
Oh, man.
I love that.
So Satnam, Namaste, Aho, Amen. Blessings.
Thank you.
Mm.
Blessings, blessings.